But what's your thoughts, kind of, any general thoughts other than obviously it's going to be more vague still on um, executing or as a player or teaching penalty kill as a coach?
Start from defending at the other end. So was again, there's you can okay. Let's say we face off, and the first thing is we get it down the ice, and they're going to set up. Now, how we attack that is dependent on what percentage we have to get the puck. So, and or the players, or some coaches want pressure all the time. Like it depends on what you want. But I would say that if you ice the puck and there's a good gap here and there's no chance of catching them, like I wouldn't rush to that. I would be more passive. But if you feel like you can put real pressure, you think this is a weak guy or whatever, if you think you could really, the pressure is going to have him cough up the puck, or you can steal that puck, then by all means have pressure, right? So that would be one. But other than that, I would set up. I would set up like in a more of a passive one, like wait for them to break out and start taking angles. Okay, so for some penalty kills, it's just better to go backwards. Some it's better to take angles and just have guys, coming back with speed and stuff like that. I'll show you one that I did. And I did this with my team, and like people were like, "What are you doing?" But we never got scored on. Partially because we were good, but because we made decisions for them. So I think the deeper that you are, that one pass can beat you. Okay, so I this is what I did with my Bell Tire team: is I had the first guy on the left side, no matter what, standing there, and I had the second. You're gonna laugh at this. Our second guy was above him at the red line. So they were coming out here, so they would get the puck. Then we had our D and our D. And you might look at that and go, well, "What are you doing?" Well, what would you do if you were the power play guy? Where would you go?
Over there.
100% you're going
Yeah,
over there.
for sure, man.
So
Double
we just
flush.
made it. So if they even decided to come out this way, this guy would just come here. And then we just did like a neutral zone trap, and this guy would be here. And it was like, it worked every time. Like I'm not talking once in a while, every time. And then if they decided to go back, and I know there's gonna be people say, yeah, but I would, yeah. No one did it against us, so you couldn't. Like you could argue this all day, but no one beat us on it, right? And then we were good enough to get back, and this guy would say, whatever. We had all that stuff, but that's what we did. We forced them that way.
So okay, so let's take your forecheck here as an example, because again, there's a million different forechecks.
Like you look at that, that's stupid.
It's not. I've seen that type of forecheck before. We've actually done it where we have the two guys line up standing next to each other. Here. So first guy goes, then if he gets beat back for some reason, you have that second guy same as you. So it's just a different stack, but it's like that double push, right? So we do.
And, so sorry. Now, our guys are smart enough, but we told them also if they did come out this way, we didn't go in a straight line. We kind of just took them on that angle. Now they just made their life even more miserable because we had.
You're going into traffic.
Yeah, you're going into traffic. Yeah.
So let's use this example now. Talk about mindset here. So whatever power play breakout they're doing, let's say they're doing the same kind of thing we just talked about, where we got three guys coming out. So if you're this first guy, let's talk about a little bit about this philosophy. So what are we trying to do if you're this first person, guy's carrying the puck up? What's the point of this guy being here? What's he trying to do? And then the second guy, same thing. And then we'll go to the defenseman after that. So just talk a little bit about the actual positioning on this forecheck.
So I'm going to be clear. Like you're not going to see this probably hardly ever anymore, right? Mostly it's either coming backwards in a box or a 1-2-2 or 1-1-2 or whatever 1-3. But this is just the philosophy, right? It doesn't matter what what the stack is. What matters is what you're trying to do.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off too. Just to reiterate that point, because we don't do this penalty kill. We do a different penalty kill, but it's like the same. We say the same thing that you're about to say. Yeah. So go ahead.
So what F1's job is to do is read where the puck is going. Okay, so if this guy carries it out, it doesn't matter where. Let's say he comes out. This is a really smart guy. He knows that if I skate here, I'm going into traffic. So he comes out here with these two guys. Fine. That's exactly what I wanted. So now I'm not going in a straight line at him, because straight lines, it's easy to be caught with a pass. What I'm trying to do is create an angle, right, to push this guy out so I can push this guy out. That's the bottom line. This guy has got a little bit of patience, but he's seeing that, and he starts to come over as well. And he's reading if he's running out of real estate or not. And if he's running out of real estate, he's there to pounce. and if they send it back or anything, he's able to swing the other way. So basically, the philosophy is we're just trying to force them, eliminate room coming down the ice. That's just the bottom line. Like everybody else that penalty kills.
Yeah. So if you guys remember back to our forechecking we talked about in the offensive zone and the forecheck we talked about when we did the neutral zone episode, it's literally the same thing. It's that angle that you're taking, trying to eliminate the pass back behind you or the pass underneath you to go out the other side. That's the F1 roll. That's the guy flushing across. In this case, the way you did this penalty kill forecheck, you have two guys doing the same thing, where two guys are both trying to flush and make sure they can't come back to the other side, take away their space through the middle of the ice, which is great.
Yeah.
So,
But just so I can give someone just maybe another idea, like, because I don't want people to think, okay, I got to try that. Like you can, but like it's the same shit, different pile, right? You could do this now, right? This guy could be waiting for them, and they come out, and what's he doing? He's still doing the same thing. We're still doing the same thing. It's all the same thing. You can do it where, he starts coming out and you're going at him, and this guy's going to go on another wave, and you're coming back with speed as they're coming up. Or you could go set it up where it's 1, 2, and as they come out, you're going backwards. Or you could do it where you're doing it like almost in a box already. Like there's just a million ways you could do it. And as they move it out, you're going backwards, or you're taking swings, like whatever. It's just the goal of it is to not let them come up the ice easily and to squeeze away their options the best that you can. That's
beautiful.
That's that.
So if I'm the defenseman now,
Yeah.
So if you can do whatever forecheck you want, doesn't matter. So
Okay.
what are my defensemen thinking? What are they trying to do in terms of the forecheck that you just drew up? So our forwards are flushing.
Yeah.
What are my D trying to do?
You're trying to hold this blue line as long as you can, right? So as they're flushing, right, you're trying to get it so that they're making plays. They're dumping in, whatever. You're a little bit staggered so that if this guy gets beat on a play, there's back checkers, back pressure, and you're staggered. So this guy's like a last guy back resort. But the bottom line is you're just trying to stuff them out in this area. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah. So force a turn. I think the way that I talk about it is you're trying to force them to turn it over. If the forwards can force before that, great. If they can't, you want to try to get it by the blue line or force them to dump it in where they can't get in clean and just have an easy setup kind of thing, right? So, but then again, on the other side, there's some teams that just let teams come in so they can get into their setup or whatever, right?
Yeah, like it's like that's a principle. That's one way to do it, and you could do it other ways. Like I said, I'm going to be very vague about this because I just showed 3-4 different defending the breakout that for some people will work and some people won't. It's getting the principle of what you want, what's the idea of what you want to do against it. So what you don't want to do, well, some guys are really aggressive everywhere. So it's like I can't even say what you don't want to do is be really aggressive. You just want to be smart about it, and that's a whole lesson by
sure.
Dale Hunter.